Good morning. Good morning, and happy Thursday to all of you. This is Rural Community Solutions, where we help you design family friendly, youth centered places that attract people you want to live in your community. My name is Kim Spillers.
And I'm Frank Spillers. And if you want to build environments that attract people that you want to have live in your community, then this show is for you. Because what we're really doing is taking our concept. We are passionate about building entrepreneurial economies. And everything that we teach, everything that we bring you is all about how do you develop a startup community that supports entrepreneurship, not how to develop an entrepreneurship ecosystem. This is a step before you go into the ecosystem mode. So how do you build an environment to where startups thrive?
All this week, we are taking our 4 pillars of relationship, engagement, entrepreneurship, and collaboration. And we are giving you just kind of the very, very takeaway elements that you need to know so that you can start implementing some ideas in your community, or reach out to us if you'd like some help doing that. So we've covered relationship and engagement so far this week. Today, we are going to be talking about collaboration. And it's not just, oh, do we get along? We talk about collaborative leadership.
So why is this important? Well, let me remind you of our diagram here, that when you are building prosperous communities and you use our pillars, the relationships and the engagement, you start to build trust. Now, the basis of a startup community, if you're really wanting to build a startup community and support entrepreneurship, I mean, actually support entrepreneurs. That's entrepreneurs supporting entrepreneurs, and not just, we're going to do it because it's a trend. This is really the work that you are going to do. 1, decide you're going to do it. 2, make that commitment for at least 20 to 25 years that you're going to do this. You're going to commit to it. And that means do whatever it takes to get it done. Then you're going to start building those relationships. Then you're going to start building engagement. And when you build those relationships and you build that engagement, you build a network of trust. So now we're going to throw in collaboration. And collaboration is more than just getting together, more than just having that, we're going to work together. That's really not what collaboration is. And I'm going to push back a little bit on you when you say, yes, we do collaboration. I have rarely found collaboration, rarely found communities that really, truly collaborate, or organizations that truly collaborate. Because when organizations say they collaborate and they don't want to, or they see their resource that they have brought to the table not used the way they want to use it, they usually take their toys and go home. So that's not really, truly collaboration. So we're going to be explaining today the environment. We're going to be explaining today the mindset that collaboration has to take place, and what we really mean when we teach collaboration and how to do it. This is the background. This is a mindset that we use, that we help communities with collaboration.
So not only just for this next 20 to 25 years is the commitment. This is collaboration, relationships, engagement, and entrepreneurship. Small businesses. Small businesses are the backbone of rural America, of America. And so supporting entrepreneurs, supporting small businesses on your main street, in your home-based businesses, your co-working spaces, all the places that people work, they contribute to your economy. All those places are super important. And so collaborative leadership, to understand how all of that works, is really important, and it evolves beyond 20 to 25 years. It is a continuous evolution all the way through the life of your community.
So what we have found with communities that are really struggling in this area is that they still have a sense of competition between communities. They still have a sense of you were our rival, you were our school rival when we were growing up, or you really messed us up. You screwed us out of having a school in our community. And so we don't like your community. Well, true collaboration gets rid of those barriers that really brings them down, because you start to build the relationship between your communities. And so you really have to ask yourself, do we have true relationships with other communities? Would I invite them to dinner? Would I take their advice? Would I really sit down with them and talk with them? Well, collaborative leaders, yes, they do that, because collaborative leadership really is behavior in action. It's really focusing on those gifts of other people and then using those gifts to bring it together. So let me show you what we really mean about collaboration and how we work with communities to bring this to bear. Okay,
so for those of you on the podcast, a graphic is now being introduced.
Okay, so those of you on the podcast, you gotta go to the YouTube channel at Rural Community Solutions TV live stream on our YouTube channel. You can watch this. Okay, so this is that's it. Okay, so just Rural Community Solutions TV YouTube. All right, so the value of collaboration is this, because when we look at traditional leadership, it's an individual vision, and you say, okay, here, I've got this vision. I want to work with you, or I want you to come to my table because this is the vision that I have, and I need your help to get this done. So what we find then, or what we found, is that people or organizations came to that table, one in the defensive mode, because they were doing the same thing, or they wanted to protect their turf, or a protective mode to protect their turf, but also to protect their money. Maybe they came to this organization, maybe they came to you because you're funding some of their processes. I found that when I worked in government. If we called a meeting together through our agency that I worked with, and we actually had some money in other places that we invited, that's why they would come, because they were afraid of losing some of their funding stream. And so they came with not a collaborative mindset. They came with either a defensive or protective mindset. And that is not true collaboration. And so you can't work with that, because it just not moving forward. It's traditional. That's the way that we figure about. That's the way we have seen organizations use collaboration, communities use collaboration in the past. What we want to do is have collaborative leadership. That's about how people work together, not about the project. So you bring people together that have like skills, that have skills that will collaborate, but also you bring people together that want to come together. You don't exclude people because of what you think they can do. If they want to be a part of the collaboration, you're open to them and you invite them in. You invite everybody into the collaboration. And then it's up to the collaborative leader to learn how people's skills work together, to learn how to create that collaborative vision with everybody working together. And so it's more of around a collaborative vision, to where people then come and the collaborative leader combines that and joins that together with everybody. And they have a collaborative mindset on how they can all work together to get to the collaborative vision. They come to the collaboration very cooperative and very open-minded. That's true collaboration, and that takes effort. That takes trust. That takes you building that relationship, you understanding how people think, you understanding how people operate, and then you build that trust and you put that in with a collaborative mindset, and you start to build unity. You start to build around that people can come together and create the entrepreneurial economy that your community wants.
So if an organization comes, several organizations come to a visioning session, for example, the goal here is not to take away any individual organization or agency's mission or purpose or anything like that. It's how you can use each agency, and it's not used in that way. How can everyone contribute to the collaborative vision with the skills and the purpose and the resources and everything that they would bring to the table, how can you work together to make something really wonderful and really big and really great happen? So it's not at all, and so that makes it different than traditional leadership. And this is the way that we feel is the better method for communities to use as an approach for their community growth.
So take, for example, a pencil. And on the podcast, on podcast, this is I'm holding up a pencil here. Okay, so my pencil is the resource that I'm going to bring to this collaboration. And so I say, okay, I'm going to buy into this collaboration and I'm going to bring this resource because I can contribute it to the collaboration. So I lay this in the middle of the collaboration. So I'm taking my pencil and putting it down on the table of the collaboration. I don't own it anymore. That is what my contribution to the collaboration was. Now, the difference between traditional leadership and a collaborative mindset is this. When I come to the collaboration and I contribute my resource, I don't own it. The collaborative owns it. But if I came to a traditional leadership, a traditional table of somebody else's, and I say, here's my resource, I'm going to contribute it to this process, then what happens normally, and what I have seen, is that they don't, they get ticked off, or they're not, the direction of the organization isn't going to where they want to go. And so they say, okay, I'm taking this resource and I'm backing out of this. And so it's not trusting, it is power based, because you're saying that this resource is only being used if you do what I want. That's power based. Collaboration says, this is my resource, I don't own it anymore. You do. The collaboration will do with that resource what it wants. So collaborative leadership and the collaboration is more about how that leader works with the people and the businesses, and it helps build and shape and mold, and it draws out the best of that sphere of influence that you have, okay? And so everybody that comes to that collaboration has a sphere of influence. How do you draw out the best in your sphere of influence? That's what true collaboration is. And so when you truly have that collaborative model, you start to build unity and you start to build trust on there, okay? Relationships and collaboration build unity, engagement and collaboration build great policy. When you put that together with collaboration, you put that together with the three pillars that we have talked about right now, you start to build a great startup community that's going to have policy reacting to entrepreneurship, not entrepreneurs reacting to good policy or unity. You're starting to build that startup with that startup mindset, with that startup community based upon the needs and the wants and the desires and the mindset of entrepreneurs. And so the first step is to get entrepreneurs together. Entrepreneurs are driving this. We're entrepreneurs. This is why we are so strong about that, is that we are living this every day. We know what entrepreneurs are thinking because we're thinking it. And so as you think like an entrepreneur, you start to attract entrepreneurs. This can't be agency driven. This has to be entrepreneurial driven. So tomorrow we're going to study that fourth pillar. That fourth pillar is entrepreneurs. How do you create entrepreneurs within your community?
So you would want to join us for that chat. That'll be the day 4 of our week-long introduction of our pillars: relationship, engagement, collaboration, and entrepreneurship. Those small businesses are critical to your small communities and your counties. So join us at 11:30 Central Time every day, Monday through Friday, and we will give you valuable advice for how you can grow an entrepreneurial ecosystem, a startup community, and use some really great tips for what you can implement in your community. So Facebook, YouTube is where you find us at Rural Community Solutions. And if you'd rather listen to a podcast, go to anchor.fm/Frank Spillers. Think like an entrepreneur. Become a spark plug.
So if you want to have a conversation about this and how your community can start to engage in this type of building environment, we'd love to have a conversation with you, because your communities are starting to open back up. It's time to get on the bandwagon. It's time to not get back to a normal situation that you were prior to COVID. It's time to build your prosperous community with this type of mindset. So I'm Frank at ghorizons.com or Kim at ghorizons.com. Give us a comment on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel. We'd love to have a conversation with how your community can start this process and how we can help your community connect with you. So until tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Daylight Time, I'm Frank Spillers.
And I'm Kim Spillers with Rural Community Solutions. And we are so grateful that you have joined us today. Thanks so much. Take care and have a great day.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.